What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we are going to be previewing the Manchester City home game against West Ham in the Premier League. Of course, this is the Premier League little winter break that they're having with, I think there's 4 games this weekend and 6 games next weekend. City being one of them weekends, so it's our final game before we get 2 weeks off and then heading into that important little schedule. Leicester away, Real Madrid away, Carabao Cup final, FA Cup and stuff like that. Little busy schedule that we've got, so it's just the last part before that. Of course, Manchester City lost against Tottenham Hotspur in the last game, so we are looking for a response in this game. Now, before we crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then make sure you help support my channel by subscribing, pressing that red button, pressing the bell and putting your push notifications on. Aiming for 6,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. You can check out my social media links, my Twitter and Instagram, which you can find in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on there. That would be much appreciated too. And don't forget also you can find my email in the description below if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video, and most importantly, let me know your thoughts in the comments below with your score and team prediction of this game. So it's the 9th of February, this game, Etihad Stadium. It's cold, wet, windy. What better way to head into the first Premier League winter break than a home game and trying to get up a home win. The game's a 4:30 PM kickoff time. It's live on Sky Sports 2, Sunday 9th of February. So yeah, if you're going to the game, make sure you do enjoy it. It's going to be, I think it's going to be really windy this weekend. So yeah, vintage UK in February weather. So yeah, we need a response to this Tottenham game. We've got Real Madrid coming up. The Premier League, of course, well out the window. We're not winning the Premier League. Hate to break it to everyone, but yeah, I imagine that comes as no real shock to anybody, with Liverpool sitting, is it 22 points clear? Absolutely crazy. So in my opinion, it's now time to start turning our focus elsewhere. So yeah, we need to solidify top 4, and obviously it'd be really nice to be able to finish second, because obviously you'd rather finish second than third or fourth, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, I feel like our priorities should be looking at the Carabao Cup final. Of course, we've got the huge games coming up against Real Madrid and also the FA Cup. That's where, in my opinion, where our season's going to be defined. So yeah, I feel like our attention should start turning to that, and I feel like we could start using the Premier League now as a good little tester for some of these games, in particular that Real Madrid game. So start making some changes, start resting 2 or 3 players when needing to. But yeah, and it's a perfect chance to be able to bread in Phil Foden, Eric Garcia, of course, but it's also the perfect time to be able to get some more minutes for the match fitness of Aymeric Laporte and Benjamin Mendy over the next few weeks as well, in my opinion. So I see no reason why we can't be making 2 or 3 changes per game. Of course, I would like to see City be able to keep the same 11, but I feel like with things going the way that they have in the Premier League, I feel like there's just not a need for us to be able to do that. So if it comes to is a player like, are they fit or are they fit? Are they fit or are they not fit? I'd probably just give them a rest, if I'm completely honest. And I'd probably be doing that every Premier League game, just making 2 or 3 changes, in particular with big games coming up. So it's a good chance for the key players for City in particular. So I'm talking the De Bruynes over the next few weeks, the Sergio Agueros. I'm talking the players like that, the Fernandinho, the players that are very important to Manchester City. Just either playing 50, 60 minutes of a Premier League game, or just not featuring at all and just having a good week's rest, if I'm completely honest. But I don't see the reason why we need to be doing that in this game, considering we've got 2 weeks off. Of course, we have got some injuries, but I feel like it's a perfect chance for us to be able to get 1 or 2 players rested who need a rest, and bringing in a couple of players that are returning just to get them some minutes. That brings us nicely, speaking of players that are needing rest and injuries, onto Raheem Sterling. Of course, he's picked up a hamstring injury. He's expected to be out for roughly around 2 to 3 weeks. We've got Leroy Sane training, but I imagine there's just no need to risk Leroy Sane. We've got a 2-week break after this. I mean, it might be nice if Leroy Sane's fit and ready to go, to give him maybe a 10-minute cameo appearance to feature for us, which would be nice. If he is fit to sit on City's bench and be able to do that and get 10 minutes, then it's better to get some minutes under your belt than none. But in terms of it, I feel like there's no need to risk Leroy Sane, if I'm completely honest. I mean, what do we do if he ends up just rupturing the same injury or something like that, and all of a sudden he's out for the season, and we're not going to see Leroy Sane potentially in a Manchester City shirt again? So I feel like it's just take our time, really. There's no need for us to be taking too many risks. John Stones, I don't know about going into this game, if I'm completely honest. I'm not too sure if we'll be seeing him or not in the future. I don't know. So who knows what the future holds for John Stones. And Alexander Zinchenko, he's suspended for the game after picking up 2 yellow cards. He's just going to miss this Premier League game, and he'll be back for the next game against Leicester City because it's a 1-match suspension. So I imagine it'll either be Cancelo at left back, or if Mendy's fit and ready to go, I'd start him, see what happens, and if he needs a rest or anything, then bring on somebody else. But we've loaned out Angelino, Zinchenko suspended. We've now got just Benjamin Mendy or Cancelo, and all of a sudden we've gone from being overloaded at left back to, well, one injury away from one of our left backs to looking rather bleak. Yeah. Strange, isn't it? Now, for West Ham, our opponents, they blew a 2-goal cushion at home against Brighton. They were 2-0 up, 3-1 up, ended up drawing the game 3-3. They've not won in 6 games in all competitions. Their form's dropping, their heads are low, but there's zero pressure on them in this game. They might be sitting in the relegation zone, 18th in the Premier League, but no one's expecting them to go to the Etihad Stadium and pick up or do anything. And that makes them really dangerous, because City, they'll be expected to respond against that game against Tottenham. You know what I mean? City are under pressure to be able to put in a performance here, whereas West Ham, the expectations aren't there. The expectations aren't what they are at Manchester City, and so there's no pressure on them. And pressure is a funny thing. It really is. City headstrong, very headstrong over the previous couple of seasons, but this season don't seem to be as mentally strong, physically strong. Just seem to be lacking somewhere on the pitch that I just can't quite put my finger on. I don't know what it is. There's a whole list of stuff that it could well be, but to be able to just what is the problem? To be able to iron it out. There's lots of little stuff that's wrong at Manchester City, and so West Ham, they're under no pressure going into this game. They could make something happen, a smash and grab. Are they going to attack us? I imagine not. Obviously Pellegrini not in charge anymore, so they've got David Moyes, so I imagine his philosophy will be to soak and absorb and hurt Manchester City on the counter attack, create 1 or 2 chances, get 1 or 2 goals, which is something City had really struggled with this season. And it's up to City's attackers more than anything for them to be able to put their chances away, 2-3 goals up. West Ham's heads will drop. They won't feel like creating them 1 or 2 opportunities, and if they do, it's just a consolation rather than us worrying like going 1-0 behind. So it's important that if we can break down West Ham nice and early, then we can get on top in this game, be able to score more goals, and always just trying to push ourselves. That if we do get a 2 or 3 goal cushion, that's fabulous. Don't hold back. We need to respond, go out there, score 1 more. Let's go back to that clinical, hurtful Manchester City, take no prisoners, hammer a team. We're playing the Hammers. Get it? It's terrible, isn't it? But yeah, that's what I'm looking for Manchester City to do, really. It's one of them. Don't hold back. Go and express yourselves on the pitch. Go and, go and smash a team if they want to. Go and put them chances away. Go and, we create 4, 5, 6 really good chances. Put them all in the back of the net. Come out with a great win. That's what I'd be looking for. Get that goal difference up. Get the confidence back. Get the juices flowing. We've got Real Madrid coming up. We're playing for places. Let's go. But West Ham, they're going to have Haller up front. I'd expect to be seeing Mark Noble in the middle. I'd be expecting to see possibly Snodgrass, Antonio featuring for them too. Declan Rice holding for them. Ogbanna at the back. Fabianski in goal. It's not a bad squad, if I'm completely honest. And it's one of them. They've not really got a lot of pace to be able to hurt us, but they do have power. Long throws, set pieces, balls into the box, balls over the top. Very dangerous. Things like corners, free kicks, direct free kicks, indirect free kicks, being able to put balls into the box, crosses, physical presence. It can hurt Manchester City, and so we need to be preparing for that. But to me, I feel like not taking any disrespect here to West Ham. I think that they're a decent side. They're a team that should be doing better than 18th place, in my opinion. They're not a team that I take lightly. It's somewhere where we have to turn up and play to the best of our ability. Just like every Premier League game, if we don't, we'll get stung and it'll hurt. So yeah, we need a response, get things going, but it's a good time to be playing West Ham, and it's good to be back on home turf with a team that hasn't got the pace to be able to hurt us as much. And so it's a little bit of different, a bit more of a physical threat to Manchester City to deal with, which to me, I feel like pace is something that will hurt us more than physicality. So I hope I'm not wrong, and I'm made to eat my words on that, but I think this game would suit Manchester City. It's a perfect game. If you used to tell me that City's got a home game this weekend, I'd be saying a physical side that's not got much pace, that's going to sit deeper, that City can create opportunities as long as they've learnt their lessons. And I hope that they've been working on their finishing all week in the training this week, that they'd be able to, of course players have had a rest, but when they've come back, I'd hope they'd be looking at finishing and putting the ball in the back of the net net. If they're doing that, then I'm confident going into this game. I'm just looking for City really to find their mojo. Yeah, create the chances, put the ball in the back of the net, and let's move on. Like I said, Leicester coming up, Real Madrid away, League Cup final. We've got the FA Cup coming up against Sheffield Wednesday. Some big season defiers, really, because the Premier League now out of the window. I'm going for Manchester City to keep a clean sheet. I think you'd be a brave person to go for both teams to score for this game. I'm going for City to keep a clean sheet. My tip, 4-0 to Manchester City. I just don't know who's going to start in this game for me to be able to pick a goal scorer or something that's going to happen. But I imagine it'll still be a relatively strong side from Manchester City here. And so, you know, Gabriel Jesus or Sergio Aguero, whoever you think may start, I'd probably put some money on them if I were a betting person to be able to try and, yeah, score some goals and stuff. So, yeah, that's my tip. Now I'm going to pop up my team prediction for you. So, pretty straightforward, really. I've gone for Ederson in goal. I'm going for Manchester City to be playing a 5 at the back now because we've not got much of a width threat to us with Raheem Sterling being out. So I'm going for 5 at the back. So that suits Joao Cancelo. Right wing back, Benjamin Mendy if he's fit to go, left wing back. If not, may see Cancelo left wing back and Kyle Walker playing right wing back. I've gone for Otamendi, Fernandinho and Aymeric Laporte. If Laporte's fit, put him in, get him some minutes, see how he responds. Gone for Rodri, De Bruyne, Phil Foden. Like I said, need some minutes, give some rest to some other players like David Silva, etc, etc. And I've gone for Bernardo Silva and Gabriel Jesus starting up. So Jesus would occupy like well, basically Bernardo Silva in the Riyad Mahrez role and Jesus occupying as Man City's centre forward. Bernardo Silva has the freedom just behind him. We've got De Bruyne, Phil Foden, and obviously the attacking threats of Mendy and Cancelo overlapping to be able to make some stuff. But yeah, that's a rotated team. It's not the strongest Manchester City squad, but like I said, give some rest. Players like Mahrez, the Agueros, the Raheem Sterlings, the Leroy Sane, the Kyle Walkers and the Gundogans. Just give them a rest. It wouldn't surprise me to see Fernandinho or Kevin De Bruyne given a rest, really. It's a game where if we wanted to rest players, this would be it. That's just my opinion, though. Like I said, you want to bring these players in, give them 60-70 minutes against Leicester, and let's start thinking about that Real Madrid game, because let's face it, that's the first big game we've got coming up, and that is a season defier, and our brains hopefully won't be on there. We just need to get the job done first, then start thinking about that as we go into the winter break. So there we go, that's been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below with your score and team prediction for this game. Subscribe if you're new around here and enjoying the content. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. We'll have a match analysis up at some point, probably on Sunday night or Monday sometime, so keep an eye out for that one if you are interested. We've still got Manchester City videos coming in thick and fast, so make sure you stay tuned for that and subscribe. You can check out my social media links, Twitter and Instagram, in description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on my social medias. That would be much appreciated, along with my email, which is also in the description below for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business enquiries, and I'll see you all again for the next video. So I've been JSGC. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. It is time to respond. Peace. Ciao for now.